putting the pieces together and going forward. Well, we all thought getting a diagnosis is what matters, and it certainly stops us from getting wrong diagnoses and using wrong treatments. Slowly we realised that it's not just about getting a diagnosis, having a name for our child's condition, but about appreciating what it means for our child and for us, and what we can actually do to help. The search for the diagnosis is important, but it may not change my child's condition. The search for the world expert may be reassuring, but it may not change the treatment. The search for the support group with exactly the correct title may mean we at last feel no longer alone. But even then, every child is different. Some people with children with very different conditions will have more to teach us about coping with our situation than a parent who might have a child with the same genetic mutation or molecular channel defect. And while we have found a diagnosis, have we left the rest of our family behind? If we are the authority in the family about this illness, does this mean that what everyone else feels and thinks doesn't matter? Each brother or sister and our partner needs to have some understanding that will grow over time. They need to understand as we do, without all the medical bells and whistles, without all the medical terminology. The more we can explain in non-medical language, the more they will understand, and the more we really understand as a parent, as a family. Each person needs a role to play without being unnecessarily overwhelmed. Our role as parents is to explain and to help our families help, not to swamp them with our feelings of being swamped. If we are swamped, we may need to get our support away from the family with social workers, psychologists, and others who understand these illnesses and the toll they take. Much of what gets us and our family through is not technical, but feelings and relationships. Listening to experts doesn't solve everything, but does help us to know what we're dealing with. Listening to those who have come through difficult times doesn't stop us struggling, but it does remind us we're not alone. Listening for solutions instead of looking for who is to blame saves us from bitterness and the rest of our family resenting our unwell child. 3 simple rules help us to get through this time. Firstly, make the search about finding a way to live as a family, not just about curing this illness. Some of the best minds in the world are working on these problems, but we will have only one life, and our children will have only one life. Giving them the best life may be much more important than a diagnosis for some children. A cure is often not possible, but comfort and caring for each other are always possible for all the family. Secondly, let everyone in the family find a role to play in caring, suitable to their skills and capacities. The other children need to have a positive thing to do as well as being given permission to get on with their lives. Less capable partners need to know that their less perfect care is better than no care at all instead of being sidelined. Keeping the normal aspects of family life going can be critical. Thirdly, learn about the disease from experts and find out from those with other conditions what they have found helpful. We don't have to have the worst, the most distressing, or the most unimaginable disease with our child. What we have to deal with is already bad enough, and what others have to deal with is often also bad. Cut some slack to those people without our problems. It is not their fault that our life has been hard. We can all be just a little bit more aware that almost every family is touched by their own sadness. Some of those who have never been touched are not always happy. Life can be a hard business for all sorts of reasons, but with humour, imagination and friendship, and an awareness of the struggles of others, we can enjoy a more real and meaningful life than we might otherwise have had. Make the struggle about family, not about illness. Everyone in the family needs to feel they have a role, but it needs to be manageable. Listen to the experts and listen to people with different struggles to our own.